If you're sick and tired of running everything on site, being the site project manager, being the site foreman, the customer service rep, and you finally want to break free from all this and actually enjoy the business that you built for yourself, then listen closely, because we're going to show you the exact steps you need to take on a project manager and delegate once and for all. Number one, you need to be consistently hitting around 750k turnover. This is the first sign, because this shows that you've got financial stability. If you're consistently generating £750,000 or more each year, and if you're in dollars, then you can just do the calculation on that, then that's a clear indicator that you're probably ready to take that step and hire a project manager. Now, why this number? Well, below this point, when you add the cost of a PM, it might strain your finances. But once your revenue hits that level, your business is typically stable enough to comfortably afford a skilled project manager. You've probably got enough ongoing projects and cash flow going on to confidently make the investment without all that financial stress. Now, if you're still at this level and you're managing everything yourself, the chances are you're probably really starting to feel the strain now, because you're doing some significant turnover. And hiring a PM is probably exactly what you need to regain your freedom and set your business up for even more growth going forward. Sign number two that you need a project manager is that you're regularly achieving 15% or higher net profit. Now, revenue alone isn't enough. We also need healthy profit margins. And if your business is consistently reaching 15% or higher net profit, then that means you're pricing correctly, you're managing your projects efficiently, and you're also controlling your overheads. And if you've got that level of profit in the business, it really gives you a nice financial cushion to invest in quality leadership without the worry of that financial burden. And when you hire the right PM, then you can just expect those margins to improve even further, because better project management means fewer costly mistakes, smoother timelines, and even more profitable projects. Sign number three that you need a PM is that you're working 60 plus hours a week regularly. Now, just be honest with this, because sometimes we don't really clock the hours we're doing. Are you actually clocking 60, 70, maybe even 80 hours a week? If you're working excessive hours like that regularly, there's a real flashing sign here that you desperately need some help. Now, it might feel like dedication, but actually, this is a real clear route to burnout for you, and the signs are not looking good. Long hours don't just impact your health, they affect your family, they affect your mental clarity, and ultimately, they're going to actually affect the growth and the speed of growth of your business. The fact is, nobody starts their company at the beginning to be trapped working endless hours every day. And if you do hire that PM, it's going to reduce your workload immediately, giving you time, precious time back to focus strategically, rest properly, and finally achieve a nice, healthy balance in your business. Step number four that you need a PM is that you're losing money regularly due to site delays and mistakes on site. If you're consistently finding that your projects are delayed, or the budgets are always overrunning, or just on site, there's just constant mistakes frequently popping up, well, the reality is every error, every delay, it negatively affects your profits and, of course, your business's reputation. So if you find yourself constantly fixing those on-site issues yourself, well, that shifts your focus away from growth, strategy, and winning the profitable jobs. Now, a skilled project manager, he takes control of that scheduling. He takes control of the quality and the budgets, and he will help reduce your mistakes, and ultimately he should increase efficiency. This isn't just being helpful, it's actually essential for you to be able to scale profitably. Now, sign number five that you need a project manager is that you haven't had a real break in years. The business is just completely reliant on you. Just think about that for a second. When was the last time you confidently took a week off with no calls, no emails, no interruptions? If it's been years, or perhaps never, maybe you've never actually managed to do that, it just means that the business is way too reliant on your daily presence. Now, when you hire that PM, it's not just a business decision, it's actually a life-changing step. Just imagine confidently taking a real holiday for once, or simply having weekends back knowing that your projects are running smoothly without you being there every hour of the day. If this sounds like it's something you're missing, then maybe it's definitely time for you to hire that project manager that you need. So after looking at those 5 signs, now maybe you realize, yes, I really qualify, I need to hire a project manager. So the next question is, how do you find them? How do you hire the perfect project manager for your business? So we want to get nice and practical here. The first thing you want to do is clearly define the project manager's role. So first, identify exactly what responsibilities they're going to handle on their own. And examples of that could be managing the timelines and the schedules. They could be controlling the budgets to prevent costly overruns. They want to be nice and clear and effective in their client communication. And of course, they want to oversee the quality control on site and safety standards. So that's the sort of role. There's obviously a lot more involved in that, but that's the sort of things that you want them to be doing. And you want to look for some qualities that match this role. They need to be exceptional communicators, and they need to be good problem solvers as well. They also need to be able to handle a bit of pressure because they may be looking after multiple projects simultaneously. So they need to be good at organizing and managing that workload. And they also need to be able to manage challenging clients and maybe even a challenging team as well. So they've got to manage the workers and the clients, and that can be a little bit difficult. So you want to see what their man management skills is potentially like too. They want to have good, strong organizational skills and be very proactive in their decision making. So when you're looking for someone like this, what we really want to do is ask the right questions when we're interviewing, so we really get a clear picture of the candidate. So think about, questions like this. Maybe you want to ask, tell me about a challenging project that you recently managed. How exactly did you turn it around? Or maybe you might want to say, how do you handle difficult conversations about budget increases on a project? Or how do you communicate that a project is delayed to a client? Let me see how they navigate that. Or you could ask, what is your system for managing multiple sites effectively? Or how do you consistently ensure projects remain profitable? So think about questions like that and weave them into an interview process so that you can make sure that they've got the right attitudes and the right ability to be able to take on this role. Now, before anyone comes on board, you really want to consider a short-term trial or a probationary period for anyone that you go and hire. You really need to see us, some people can interview so well, and I've hired people that have interviewed amazingly well, but when they started, they've just been an absolute disaster. So you really want to watch them in real time. How are they handling responsibility? And when you see that in, the real world, in real world situations, that can help you make a long-term commitment to this person. If you feel like they're the right person, you're probably going to work it out pretty quickly. The other thing you can think about too is you don't necessarily have to go outside to hire your project manager. You may have the perfect project manager already working in your business. So first of all, look internally. What about your existing employees? Are they showing any leadership potential? Do they give their attributes of being reliable and proactive and really trusted by your team? What if they do and you've potentially identified someone? Test them out a little bit. Why not delegate some smaller tasks to them first? Give them a little bit of training and mentorship and gradually increase their responsibility on site. Maybe they can start off as a tradesperson and then you eventually move them up to being a site foreman, and then maybe the site foreman, they can go from there to being a project manager for you. And if you can do that internally, it really reduces hiring risk, but most importantly, it strengthens team loyalty and motivation, because the rest of the team think, well, if this guy's done it or this girl's done it, maybe I can do it too. One word of caution though that you need to really watch out for when you're about to hire is you never want to hire a project manager out of desperation or panic. When you're reactive hiring, it usually leads to really costly mistakes. And I know this. We've won some big projects many years back, and we were absolutely desperate to bring someone on board, and we really rushed the whole process. We rushed the interview process. We rushed looking at all the CVs and things like that, and it just turned to be an absolute nightmare for us because we had someone wrong in the role, and when you're super busy, it can easily be done. So try not to be reactive, rather be proactive. You want to be regularly looking for quality candidates. As we said, already look at your existing team, but make sure you're also networking frequently and build relationships in your industry so that when the time comes, you might have the exact person in mind that you want to bring on to the role. So let's just be clear about what you're trying to achieve here. Hiring a project manager isn't an expense. It's probably one of the smartest investments you can make in your business. It can transform your business and improve your own mental health and stress levels. And ultimately, we want it to increase your profits on the job. Can you just imagine confidently being able to step away from those day-to-day operations, knowing that your business is actually going to thrive without your constant oversight? It's such a relief when you get the right person that can do that. Just imagine then taking a stress-free holiday, spending quality time with your family, and being able to just focus on pure growth and strategy within the business. How much better would your life be and your enjoyment in business be if you had a project manager that was taking care of all of that for you? Well, that's exactly what happens when you hire a skilled project manager and the right person for the role. So if you're serious about finally scaling your business and reclaiming your time and get some freedom and more money in your pocket, now's the perfect time to take action. If you match those 5 signs that you were hitting over 750k, 15% net profit, and all the other things that we spoke about earlier, if you match those 5 things, now's the time to really think about hiring that project manager. And if you need more assistance in growing your construction business, feel free to reach out to us and we can come up with a custom game plan for you to show you how to create a business from 1 to 5 million.